Hello everybody and welcome back to Knaveswell Farm. The first thing I want to say here is I've now updated the map to the version that you will have. I had the pre-release version and this is the latest version which is available on FS UK. This is the one with the mud mod installed, so we can do some mudding now in the farmyard and in the field entrances. But the aim of today's video is to work on the livestock, because that is something we've been working towards for a while. So no spraying today, you'll be pleased to hear. But yes, we need to buy some cows. We also need to feed the cows. So to do that, we obviously need to buy a feed mixer. I would love to have the self-propelled one because I don't use it very often, but it's very expensive. So the first thing we're going to do is drive over to the store and pick up the feed mixer, which we haven't yet bought. Need to buy that. So yes, we're not going to have a lot of money to buy the cows with. We will sell some more silage in the future from the silage pit in the yard. But just want to make do with what we've got at the moment, because yeah, we don't want to have too much money, because I tend to get a lot of comments saying having that amount of money is unrealistic. I'm not sure if that is referring to the multiplayer server or just generally in my videos, but yeah, we don't want to have too much. I think by the end of this video we'll probably have nothing again, but at least we're spending it on sensible things. Things that we actually need. So, yes, here we go. Feed mixer. It is £39,000, so not too bad really, price-wise. We are going to need the bale shredder as well, but not just yet. We will get this attached to the Deutz tractor, and we'll be able to begin giving them a total mixed ration. We have everything now. Except for, actually, thinking about it, we don't quite have the silage as such because it's not fermenting yet, but we do still have that rogue silage bale, so we could use that. Might not be a bad idea. Anything just to get them started really will be absolutely fine. Yeah, that reminds me, we really should do that. We should clamp the pit and get that going, because we're going to need that in the future. But we'll be okay for today. So let's head back and let's buy some cows first of all. I haven't yet seen the water fill point, or at least I've forgotten where it is if I do know. So I'll have to search for that again. It must be around this area, somewhere in this vicinity. So the best place to go is actually, I would say, where we were yesterday with the bales. So I'll just reverse into here. We'll have loads more space today though, because this is a much smaller machine. We will turn the engine off, put the handbrake on, and we'll jump into our telehandler. I'm going to do a mix of 2 hay bales, 1 straw bale, and obviously the 1 silage bale which we've got anyway. We might as well get rid of it. If we sold it, we'd make a small fortune, but we do need it. It's quite essential, so we'll go for it. Anything to get rid of my terrible stack of hay bales. The straw bale stack, in my opinion, isn't too bad. Oh crikey, someone's put a seed drill there. I'll just deal with that. I totally forgot it was there. I tend to store it there. It's not a bad place to store it, to be honest, so I think after this we'll put it back in there. We'll just pull it out of the way, put it on the side of the road here. That should be fine. So back into the telehandler. Let's begin our mix. So ideally it's going to want to be a hay bale first, 2 of them. Issue is getting at them because of my terrible stacking. There's 1. That'll do to start off with. Right, 1. Now for the second one. I guess actually we could put the silage bale in now. The order doesn't matter, I don't think. So we might as well go for it. And we'll finish off with the straw bale. It's not going to be a massive mix, but we're not going to have that many cows, so it won't really matter. That's that one. And finally, we'll pick up this one here. get that one into the mix, and then it'll just be one straw bale. It might fill it to the top. It's not going to be far off. Hopefully it will be. They'll also need water. So that is another expense for the water bowser. And there we go. Almost. We've got it. So I did switch the tractor's engine on again because obviously it needs to be powering the feed mixer, otherwise it won't be mixing. So that should be a good enough mix for us today. I do need to clamp the pit, so that is a good job for later on. I'll put this away in here. And now what we can do is go over to the cows, which is, I think, here actually. This should be their area. So we will buy them. We're going to have to leave a bit of money for the water bowser, but let's just see how we go. If I start buying them, you know, it's times like this when I wish there was like an option here, like a fill box. You could type in a number for how many you want to buy, because it takes a very long time to do this. And there is a risk of setting off an epileptic fit. There, so we've got 30. There's one. Where are the other 29? Oh, they're probably in the field. Hello. Ooh, it's got a nice little walkway down here. Here they are. So we've got the mud. This is the mud mod, which is running on the map. This must be their feed trough, I think. Yeah, unless it's the water trough. And yeah, I think they should be okay when they get the feed and the water. I like this though. There is a word for this, and someone did tell me it. I've forgotten. I'm sorry. There is a word for this track which leads from the cow shed to the field. Please do remind me of it. I would love to know. So somehow I need to get the tractor in there, and currently I don't know how to. I'm guessing that if we go down there, where we just came from, it will allow a tractor to fit through. It's a bit tight here though. Mind the drill. Do you think we'll get through here? There's probably a massive opening somewhere, and I've just gone for the tightest route. Do you think these gates will open? They do. Oh, opposite directions. Fancy. And, I think I'm going the wrong way here. I really do. Sigh. Typical. 1 second. I tell you what, we'll put the tractor away because it's in the way completely, and then we'll be able to bring the other one out and we'll go the long way round, but obviously the much easier way. This seed drill probably could do with wash, but you know, I'm not too keen on washing implements too often, especially when they've got seed in, so we might just hold off doing that for a while. Yeah, the priority is working on the cows, obviously, so let's try and get out of this mess. We'll have to shut the gate before the cow escapes. There we go. It almost came out. It wanted to go. Right, out we come. Slow and steady. If anyone was going to do that wrong, it was going to be me. Let's be honest. Okay, we will try again. This should be much easier. You are joking. Where's my silage? Oh really? Because I changed versions, do you think it deleted the silage? Well, it's not the end of the world that, because I can actually add that in again in the XML file. I'll have to go back to a previous video to see how much I had in storage. All I can say is you know, thank goodness for the XML file. What would we do without it? Yes, I forgot that it deleted everything you have in storage. So that must have messed up our barley as well. We had about 70,000 litres. Oh no, seems to be still there. We've sold some of it. Oh, ready for the mud? Spotless tractor. Oh, let's just get closer. Spotless tractor gets muddy in a few seconds. That is... Crikey, that is deep. Really? We're going to need differential lock. Or diff lock. Wow, I am stuck. We're succeeding well. This is another one of Tommx55's secret little mischievous plans to make me look like a fool on my Let's Plays. I've actually totally dug a rut and I'm stuck. We're going to need the chain mod. Shame I don't have it installed. Oh dear, 1 second. I think we're free. Yes, I'm sure it wasn't done mischievously. It was just... it is actually a really good feature to have a deep mud hole which you don't know is there. Because it is quite a funny thing to see. When you know when it's... If you do know it's there and you see someone else drive into it, you'd be thinking, don't keep driving that way. You're going to sink. Aha, here we go. Good to see it's a feed trough. I was worrying there. I thought that was actually the water trough and I'd come all this way for nothing. But it is filling it up, so that just leaves the one question. Where is the water trough? Because I can't see one. Oh, interestingly, there is another way into the field over there. So I could do that in the future. Because I think actually the way I've come is for the cows, which is probably why there is such a muddy, deep hole there. I know other tractors have gone through it. But I think, yeah, let's just, for fun, let's floor it through the mud hole. Come on cows, make way. We've got to do some mudding. 1 second. One's just showing its rump off elegantly. So we've just got to wait for it to shift. Right, go. Let's go. Mind its head. There we go. We're through. Oh, I'm going to have to go the other way in future, I think. So with that out of the way, we now have a lovely muddy tractor which is going to need washing. We can actually wash it actually because we've got a pressure washer over here. So we'll do that now because we need to change this tractor at some point. I did say Massey Ferguson drop nose, but a few people saying don't do that because you've already used it quite often, and I do, admittedly. So yeah, I might try and find a John Deere instead. Bit more mud for us. Yeah, you wouldn't just go and wash it repeatedly, but as we are going to be selling the tractor very soon, I do want to keep it relatively clean. But as soon as we reverse out of here, it might make it muddy again, considering it is a mud hole. But we can always improve it just by giving it a bit of a rinse. So yes, I'll try and add the silage back in the XML file. It should work, I've done it before. When we lost everything on Court Farms. So, oh, look at that. Already. What a mess. That was a waste of time. We'll take the PTO off, we'll detach it, and I'll quickly wash it again. There we go. So, I can't really see the point in buying the water bowser if we don't know where the water goes, because, you know, what's the point? And also, I can't see a water fill point. It really can't be too far. Is it with the chickens? Nope. Although the chickens do have eggs ready. So, yeah. I don't know. I might have to hold off with the water. If anyone can shed some light on this, I would love to know. Basically, I just need to know where the water fill point is and also if you can actually give the cows water. Because you might not be able to. So as for the cows, I would say we'll leave it there because obviously I don't know whether you can give them water or not. The sheep, I would love to give the sheep their grass. So I think what I might do is just double check that the bucket will be compatible with the heap of grass. So if I go on to telehandlers and go on here, no, it's not. Okay. Yeah, someone did say, how are you going to pick the grass up again? And it's a good point. How do I? Because, yeah, what will be compatible with the grass? Okay, so I've just been on the mod site and I have just discovered a front loader bucket which you can use to pick up grass. It seems that none of the standard ones allow you to pick up grass with them, and even the buck rake won't allow you to pick up grass. So it is quite challenging to do what I'm wanting to do here, but luckily there is one mod which is the solution to the problem. The only unfortunate thing is the mod is for a front loader, which obviously means a much smaller bucket capacity than the telehandler, so it's not ideal, but at least it will work. So let's go over to the store, we will buy it, and we'll also put the front loader on. I think I detached this. Did I detach it? No, I didn't. Okay, off we go. Let's put the steering column down again. And we'll have to put the front loader console on too. Also, you'll probably have noticed at the top right hand corner of the screen there is a number 2 instead of the number 1. This again is the soil mod interval. This is the amount of days it takes to update. So it won't be quite as stressful to play now because we've got a lot more time on our hands. It means less withering, and overall it'll be a lot better. So there is the console. We can now fit that, and we'll have to take this bucket off. We will come back for it at some point, and we'll have to buy the grab. It's actually a grab. You can use just the forks, or you can use the grab. Up to you. They're both compatible with the grass. So if I go on here, I would have thought it'd been front loaders. Is it these two? Yes, you can see here it's got the grass icon. So I think we'll go for the fork with the grapple. The other one is the manure fork. This one is more expensive, but you know, we're going to be travelling down the road with it, so we don't really want to have it all falling off. So we are going to have to spend a bit more money to be that bit more realistic, although you wouldn't tend to go down the road with it on your fork. Good. So finally, let's go and move some grass and buy the sheep. It hasn't taken too long. So I tipped it into a placeable heap. It should still be there. Guess that would be a shame if we lost that. Mind the chickens, and it should, if the tree doesn't get in the way too much, it should fill up. Fantastic. So, at least that works. We can now go over to the sheep field. To get there, we have to go the back way. You would have thought you would turn right out of here and turn left, but you actually turn left out of here and then turn right. That is the way to get attracted to the sheep field. So we want to go down here, which isn't quite so easy with a front loader, it seems. And if we keep going through the gate, I think it's the second gate on the right. We have to go through another field. First gate, sorry. We have to go through this field to get to it. But it is down here. We've got 710 litres of grass on the grapple, it calls it. So it's pretty good. We're not going to buy that many sheep. They should have a trough in here. As long as it registers it, because I know that there is obviously a fine line between where it's filling and where it isn't, so please, yes. Obviously the textures are wrong, but that has worked, and in fact that is as much as it takes. So it didn't even require a full scoop load. How many do we have? We can't have that many. 15. So if we buy 5 more, or 6 more, it will allow us to fill it up a bit more. There's a lot of mores here, but that is done. Good. So I think we will hold it at that for now, because if I bring another load, it'll be too much, and we'll just have to go and tip it back again. As long as I keep a close eye on how much they do have, we should be okay there. So I shut the gate, make sure they don't escape, and again, water. Water seems to be a bit of an issue. If anyone who knows about it is watching, please do let me know, because obviously if they need water, we need to give it to them. But if it hasn't been implemented into the map, fair enough, we don't have to. I think the final thing to do will be just to take this back to the shed, park it up, and we'll call it a day until next week. I really do need to add the silage in the XML file though. Actually, one thing which I've just thought is, if I add it in the XML file, how do I know which pit it's going to fill it into? Or will it be random? Because I kind of need to know. Hopefully it will be possible. So this can go here, we'll put that down, and that is it for today. So thank you for watching, hopefully you've enjoyed the video. It's been a bit chaotic and manic, I do know, but hopefully it was still enjoyable. So until next time, thank you for watching, and hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.